Sung, welcome.
Thanks for having me here.
Yeah, absolutely. So thanks for being here. Blue Bottle, big news, elephant in the room. Nestle just got acquired.
Correct.
So what can you tell me? What's happening over there?
Yeah, so in general, they've publicly said that they're going to give us as much leeway to run on our own, and they have done exactly that. So they upheld their promise, and in general, for us, it just means we have a lot more runway, a lot more ability to invest ahead of growth. But other than that, they're not asking for any sort of integration, and their approach is, if you need us, let us know, but otherwise, please keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, I mean, what was it about sort of the Blue Bottle philosophy that sort of fits into the Nestle approach now? I mean, why do you see the two companies as being the right fit for each other?
So Nestle has definitely emphasized kind of that millennial healthy consumer as one of their key focus. And so Blue Bottle obviously plays in that in a very strong way. Nestle's coffee business in the US, they don't really have any third wave presence. So really looking at the future of coffee within the United States and somewhat in Asia as well, Blue Bottle can play a very critical role there. So it makes a lot of sense.
Right. I mean, Blue Bottle really made its name for itself by really helping set the third wave into motion, by innovating in really unique ways. And from what I understand is the phrase you guys like to use is your innovation philosophy, and you really have a unique approach to how you develop your products. What can you tell me about that philosophy?
Yeah, so I think for most people, having a full lineup of SKUs is incredibly important. And we took it in a much slower approach than most people would. So we came out to market with one product to test the viability. We actually waited until 2 years before launching our second SKU.
Right.
And that was about a year and a half ago. So when thinking about beverage lineup and how we invest in R&D, we always think about, we want to actually be with the limited number of SKUs, but the most best-selling SKUs. So the way we phrase it is that we don't mind being late to the category, we just want to be the best in whatever segment and category we compete in.
Yeah, I mean, what's interesting as well is that Blue Bottle sort of had a cafe approach, and so CPG is this arm of a larger company that has focused on on-premise. So what kind of role is CPG playing in the company in a grander scale?
Yeah, so I always think about our online business, which is our e-commerce direct-to-consumer, as well as our cafe business, which is in our retail, as a way to invite the guests into our own world and experience that. CPG's mission is, in some ways, the opposite, which is to bring ourselves into the homes of our guests and really get us to, allow us to meet them where they are and where they shop. So that's the role CPG plays. And ultimately, when you think about a company that's going multi-channel, you ultimately have the ability to build a brand that's incredibly powerful because you see it in stores, you see it online, you see it in a cafe that you bring your girlfriend or your mother-in-law to, and all of that ties together to form what's valuable about us and what makes us so phenomenal.
So how do you communicate that value to your consumers? What are you doing in order to, give the proper image of Blue Bottle?
So we do invest a lot in terms of thinking about our products and their design. As you can tell, the carton is incredibly unique, and the can is as well.
Right.
They're small, mobile, a little bit nostalgic and playful in that way. And we also think about it in terms of how do you build that white space on the shelf? And I mean literal and visual white space, not the figurative white space. Because when you start shopping for cold brew coffee as a set, you can really see that things are so many different colors, they tend to be dark. And our cafe aesthetic is really giving people the room to breathe and that lightness and that simplicity in design. And we want to try to reflect that as much as possible within our products.
Yeah,
as well.
and you bring up sort of the can and the cartons, and you've got that distinctive packaging element there. So what about what's going on with them? I heard there was some consideration with where the packaging would be going in the future. What is happening there?
So our thinking is that we'll probably still remain with those packaging for the time being. Those are such iconic parts of our brand now. And when we think about line extension, we really would ideally look at similar form factors to that versus changing to something completely different.
All right, great. Well, How's your BevNet Live experience going for now?
It's actually going great. This is my first year attending, and I would say you guys have done a really, really good job curating and attracting a really great set of folks. So bump into a lot of people I know in the industry, and also managed to reconnect and connect with new folks as well.
Excellent. Well, Yusung, thank you so much.
Thanks so much for having me here.
Yep. All right. Well, enjoy the rest of the show, and we're going to bring on our next guest in just a moment.